Hello and welcome to another Ask Us Anything Live with me, Kate R, for Intrepid English. So I'm the senior teacher with Intrepid English, and every week I go live and I talk about a grammar, pronunciation or vocabulary point. And every month we focus on one particular topic. So 2 months ago, we focused on the fact that we refreshed our presentations course in our academy. So we were focusing on how you can improve your presentation skills. Last month, we were talking about English for traveling and because we also refreshed our course for English for traveling. But we also talked about some really useful vocabulary to have to hand when you're traveling, because English is the international language of the world. This month, we want to focus on the reading club. So this is a really, really useful skill. Can reading really help you improve your English? Does reading have any benefits for you, the English learner? Can reading in a foreign language really help motivate and develop your skills? The answer to all of these questions is yes, 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 yes. Reading can help you. It is a really important skill to have. So why reading? Well, first of all, do you like reading in your language? Do you enjoy sitting on the beach with a book, now it's the summer, or in the winter curling up in an armchair with a nice cup of tea and a good book? Or do you read on your way to the work or on the train, basically on your commute, to kill time? So if the answer again to any of these questions is yes, then yes, you will enjoy reading in English. Now, reading in English helps our brain to become familiar with the language. It is the fastest, easiest and most efficient way, as it is more focused than listening, but also to increase your vocabulary. In other words, you become more comfortable in English in general. It is why we ask children to read as much as they can in their own native language. My daughters, for example, they read to them in English, and the eldest one is starting to read, and it is amazing how much it helps her vocabulary. So how can we, Intrepid English, help you with your reading skills? Well, you can join our weekly reading club. So what exactly is the reading club? What do we do? What to expect? Well, it is true that we look at articles, short stories, chapters from books, and now some of this can be more challenging than others. So when it's a book, it can be more challenging than an article. But please don't let that put you off, because our group is really supportive of one another. We take our time to ensure that everyone understands all the vocabulary and the concepts and the ideas, and everyone is super nice, super friendly. So in a typical session, each student takes turn to read a portion of the article, chapter, or story out loud. And during this time, I may make small corrections to pronunciation, or I will highlight the word so that we will go back to the pronunciation after they have had their turn in reading. And as one person reads, the other students have the ability to highlight, to write down any words or phrases they need help with. And once the student has finished that section, we review the words I've highlighted, whether it be for a vocabulary reason or for pronunciation reason. And I also make sure that every student has the opportunity to check any other words they wanted to check the meaning on. We also make sure that it's not just understanding the meaning, but trying to think of examples themselves of how to use that vocabulary. And I always say whether the vocabulary is formal or informal, whether it's useful or only used in literary stories or articles. And once we've finished, we will discuss some of the ideas that we've been talking about. So for example, right now we are looking at a book about Australia. So we're talking a lot about some students have experiences from traveling to Australia or meeting Australian people. And so we talk about that in traveling. So each week, I make sure that it's very collaborative, very engaging, and a great experience for everyone to learn as they're reading, but also have some fun. So for example, this year, we have read short stories from Roald Dahl and Bill Bryson, as well as excerpts from The School of Life and Memoirs of a Geisha. We've also looked at articles from the BBC and the British Council. So a varied lot of books. Oh, we also looked at the book Balderdash and Waffle, which was the history of the English language. So very different choices. So how can you join us? How can you get involved? Well, as part of Intrepid English's mission for equality in education, I run this hour-long reading club every week on Thursdays, and it's available to everybody. So no matter your level, no matter your range of vocabulary in English, we have this hour to empower everyone in English. So first of all, Reading Club is also included in all Intrepid English memberships. So if you are an Intrepid English member, please come along for a session, as I always love seeing new faces, and you can see for yourself, and then you'll be part of the email that goes out every week. And if you're not a member, no worries, you can still join, because the first book club that you join is free, and so you can easily email me. And then afterwards, it's a £5 session, £5 a session, that you can again easily book a seat up to the day via this link that I'm going to put on the bottom of this video. And also, if you have any further questions, you want to be able to join, you want to get in touch, you want to have more information, if you're a member, you can go into the members area and go onto our group reading club. If you're not a member, you can easily send me an email on kate.r@intrepidenglish.co.uk. And then you can join us for next Thursday. So I hope that has been interesting. I hope to see you at our next reading club. For now, I wish you all a wonderful weekend and see you next week.